Matt, first off, congratulations on your new series, and thank you for taking a little bit of your time to talk to me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's exciting. I think we've been number one since we released, so we're having a good time.
Yes, congrats. So,
Thanks.
Matt, right off the bat, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I wanted to first hit you with this one. I couldn't ignore watching the show, the similarities between your character in this, George Skyfox, and of course the iconic Anakin Skywalker, which you bring to life in all the Star Wars animation work. We can see their rise to, the hero, their fall to villain. But I wanted to ask you, can you tell me a little bit about the similarities or the approach you had for these two roles? And was it tricky maybe separating them at all when you were doing this one? And how fun was it to play? Is it to play both sides of the spectrum, hero and villain?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of similarities, and obviously, I was able to draw off some of my knowledge of Anakin and knowing that character and elements that I could bring to George. I mean, you're right. They're both fallen heroes. They're both charismatic people with a lot of bravado that people want to be around. I actually think they're both sort of labeled the villain. I mean, obviously, Anakin is a little more black and white once he's Vader and he starts doing some of the things that he does as Vader. But I also think they're both characters that they justify what they're doing as right. Neither of them are being evil just to be evil. And I hopefully we get to see more of that with George and why does he do the things that he's doing. And I believe that both of those guys think they are sort of a hero to the people. And I think that makes them interesting because even though they might be doing some things that are perceived as wrong or bad, maybe some others might think that they are doing good. So I'm looking forward to playing more of that in George. But it's exciting. I think the story of kind of that people's hero gone bad or that villain that used to be good and we see that fall, it's kind of a human story. So, George Lucas kind of just borrowed very basic human themes of good and evil and light and dark. And those are just themes that are sewed into every aspect of life, really, and how we live our daily life with morals and values and that sort of thing. So anyway, it's easy to draw parallels between the two. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the things I appreciate about the show and your character. Also, one of the things I really liked about Jupiter's Legacy was your character's loyalty and friendship to his closest friend, Sheldon, the Utopian. So you can feel the history between them, even if you don't get details so quickly. And it's so important because if you don't feel this, then there's no impact when you later on have a fallout. So I want to ask you, did you guys work together on this? Did you rehearse on set? Did you improvise? Did you discuss it? And actually, did you guys, hang out outside the set so have a good rapport and you can feel that?
Yeah.
We Josh Duhamel, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Well, we were actually really busy prior. I did hit him up and we tried to get out and play some golf together just to hang out, but we weren't able to make it happen. And we were actually up there before we started shooting, which maybe was around June of 2019, maybe a little earlier. We had been there for, I don't know, 5, 6 weeks training, fight training. So the entire cast really got to know each other off camera. Josh he's a great guy. He's just a kind of a normal dude, very easygoing, very kind, very easy to have conversation with. It was him in that scene with Sheldon and George when George comes over the first time and he's just lost his mind and think papers are everywhere. It was Josh's idea to just hug me. And I thought that was brilliant because I think what that did for us as actors is it actually created that connection with us and that physical connection of just two guys that are you know George feeling his pain at that moment. And I thought that hug was really awesome. And it really showed Sheldon's vulnerability and also the trust that Sheldon feels for George to be able to break down and do that in front of him. I thought that was great. And yeah, I really wanted to feel that closeness with Josh in that moment because I knew that's going to translate on screen. And just as you said, it does. It makes that fall more tragic, and it makes that relationship or lack of relationship now in the present day sad when you see them.
Yes.
or when you don't see them together. And Sheldon mentions it in present day. You see Sheldon mentioning George defecting, and the group has not been this volatile since George left. The guy's thinking about it 60 years later. He's still hurt by it 60 years later. So that bond needs to be there, and hopefully we get to explore that more in season 2.
Yes, I hope you can see you do that and rise to power and then fall and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And Matt, congrats again. A big fan of your work in Star Wars, and I loved seeing you in this live action. So congrats again on the series, and thank you for taking a little bit of your time. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Adios.